560-5589, 560-KKTX. You have a question or comment for the chief of police? I want to get back to our conversation from last week, and it's about spousal abuse and sex offenders. Do you still have that phone call we got from that guy that says, hey, I'm a sex offender, and it's pretty rough? Was that last Tuesday?
Yeah,
okay.
Last Tuesday.
But you could find that, right? Okay. I wanted to ask him, what did you do? But I didn't.
Right.
Was it on your mind?
Sure, it was on the tip of my tongue, but I didn't know if it was the right thing. Yeah, I didn't know if... Yeah.
I didn't either.
But he was very talkative. He may have told you.
I think he probably would have, but I don't know. For some reason, I just thought, well, I'm going to leave well enough alone. I probably don't want to get into that. Because if it was something really... He didn't sound like he was one of those predator evil guys.
Yeah.
Until the lady, and I understand this, she was someone that this had happened to.
Yeah, she was very offended by his candor and straightforwardness, right. I guess. I think she felt like he was, in just a very nonchalant way, delivering a message with no regard to victims.
You can't go through the jail time.
Yeah.
And they put you in jail for that, don't they?
Sure.
Okay. You can't go through the jail time, and then the stuff that you have to do afterwards, it's like you have to report once a month.
Yes.
And you have to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And you just effectively give away a day out of your life. Now, I'm not saying that it's not warranted. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
And I have wondered, because it seems to me that child abuse, this beating on children, and spousal abuse are like, I don't know, horns on the same goat. If you do one, you're pretty much going to do the other.
Or you've been engaged in both, right?
Or and I here's where I'm not. I get on very unfamiliar ground, because they say, I have read, if you were abused as a child, the chances are that you are going to do it to someone else, to children.
Yes.
I can't really get my head around that.
I guess it's learned behavior, and you believe that's the right way.
Or is it
conduct yourself?
Or is it just anger and hate?
Probably. Yeah, a little bit of both. This is, I don't know how to deal with emotions, and I don't know how to work through problems other than punch on somebody.
All right. How many times have you looked at a situation where it is a boyfriend or the new husband that abuses the children? We're going to come back to that right after this. News Radio 1360 KKTX 823. Chief Floyd Simpson is in the box. And actually, we were talking about a setup for this. The stories that I if it's on the news, I just either mute it or turn it down. I don't want to hear about a kid getting beat with a 2x4, a kid getting killed, or kid in the company of an adult, and the adult mistreats him. I can't get over this idea that I have. What was going through that small child's mind when a person that is supposed to be their protector and love them is torturing them this way? It must be more terror than any of us could deal with. Mm-hmm. The stories, though, that really bother me are these boyfriends and new husbands of women who already have children. Do the women not even think that this could be a problem?
And that's one of the things that we're working on, and I'm trying to garner support with our treating community, because cities now are moving towards police departments. When they come to the most common call that we get, domestic violence call, usually there's alcohol and all the other things involved. There's a set of questions that have been working pretty well in different cities that the responding officer will ask the victim. And if she responds in the affirmative to a majority of those questions, then we don't pass go. Immediately, we try to remove her from a situation. For example, has he choked you? Does he own a gun? Are the kids that are in the family, are they his? Just a set of probably 11 or 12 questions that first responders ask. And again, if it's in the affirmative, we want to take action and remove that person because I don't know if you saw Channel 3's report last night on homicides as a result of domestic violence. That's our big issue here in this city. That it's moving beyond just black eyes and choking and beating you. People are dying, and so we're trying to figure out how we can exert our will inside of homes to open people's eyes and say, look, you're in danger. This is going to progress from you having a couple of black eyes to you actually being severely injured or possibly killed, as in probably 80% of our homicides this year.
Yeah, but the women say, well, I didn't think, I had this protective order, and I didn't think he would come over with a gun. And
that's the whole point of removing you now because, history has told us that the offender is going to go, I'm sorry, here's some roses, it'll never happen again, I love you very much. And then the cycle continues on and on and on until something really happens.
Well, I was talking to a good friend of mine yesterday, and his daughter just went through this. It wasn't that her husband was physically abusive, but he was very controlling.
Sure.
And where are you? You got to be. You have to do this. You have to do that. I want to know where this is. What that. What. But doesn't the controlling lead to now you're talking back to me, I'm going to smack you one.
Yeah, I think in a lot of cases, I mean, it's this power and dominance over another person. A lot of times, treatment community will tell you it's not rape is not about sex, it's about power and control. And in these cases, it's about having dominance over a particular person and just controlling their every move. That's why, in my view, and where I'm trying to go, is so critical to interject as outside agency quickly so that we can remove people from what we know are hazardous situations.
Well, he was telling me he's looked at this through new perspective.
More interest, yeah.
Because it was so hard. And I know the family.
Yes.
And I know his daughter. Stellar person. Very smart. She's beautiful.
And probably a pleaser.
And she has a huge personality.
Sure.
And that was one of the things that got her in trouble with her husband, who was, jealous, I guess. I'm not sure. But even though she's very level-headed and understood all those things, it was still hard for her to listen to her parents, who didn't put pressure on it, but they reminded her, look, we got to get some counseling here. We got to talk to some people. And this behavior does not stop with 2 visits to a $75 an hour guy.
That's right.
Because you have to work on it. It's a character defect.
Yes.
And you have to put down these things that you're going to change. And it takes you a year of that.
Yes.
To trying to get a handle on it.
Yes. And then it may not change. I've just gone to far too many calls regarding domestic violence that ended horribly and has impacted kids that are left behind, family members that are left behind.
Well, again,
for
he
a lot
said
of years.
This was not physical abuse, and I was thinking, well, probably wasn't long before that escalated because she would get out of line and he would think he could do that. And he said the flowers, the tears, the I'm sorry, the I'll change.
And it'll go good for 30 days.
But it's difficult for a woman that wants to see the marriage succeed.
Sure. Yeah, because she loves him. I mean, It's
Lago in the morning. News Radio 1360 KKTX. Chief Floyd Simpson in the box. We're talking about what happens between spouses when things go horribly wrong. Janice, good morning. Welcome to Lago in the morning.
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning.
And as bad as I hate to say this, I'm an authority on this subject.
Good.
The reason I say that is because I lived with an abuser for 32 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Some women believe that they can change the person they're married to.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
You can't. You can't change them.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't change because they completely change you is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They take everything that you have. They just drain you. That you have no self-esteem. You're afraid to even move. You walk on eggshells all the time. And, every year I give money to the women's shelter. Everyone should.
Now, you're out of that situation, is that right?
Pardon?
You're no longer in danger, right?
No, I'm not in that situation anymore, thank God.
Thank God, yeah.
I have a wonderful husband now.
Great.
And he treats me wonderful. But only by the grace of God am I alive today.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, I could write another book.
Yes.
On this subject.
That's a very serious subject.
I feel so bad for the women that go through this. And I can't bear to look at a woman that's being abused. I just can't.
Mm.
And I keep telling myself I need to say something on this. And my husband heard you this morning, and he said, you need to call in.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
he was right.
What kept you from leaving? What kept you?
I had 3 children. For one thing, I had 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
Young children.
So you felt trapped?
I felt trapped, exactly. And that's what kept me from going, because I had 3 kids. Aside from the fact that my family lived in Oklahoma, because that's the first thing they do is get you away from your family.
Separate you, yeah.
So you have no backup system. And he would tell me if I ever tried to leave that he knew where all my family was, and he would kill them all. Well, of course I believed him because he had tried to kill me. Or I thought he was trying to kill me. I knew after I left him that he really wasn't going to do that. But I didn't know it then. He had me so beat down. That kept me from leaving because
let me ask you something, Janice.
Okay.
What kept you from arming yourself and protecting you and your children?
What kept me from doing it?
Yeah.
I did protect my children.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, what kept you from? If somebody threatened to kill me, I would make sure that I was carrying all the time. And if I walked out the door of my house, my hand would be in my purse and it would be on that, pistol.
Jim,
go ahead.
When I left, that's what I did do. I went right straight to the pawn shop and I bought a .38.
Good.
And then that very next day, he crossed me off on the road, and I took a gun out of my purse, and I told him, I said, you get the hell away from me. Don't you ever come near me again, because I got 6 bullets in here, and they've all got your name on them. I'll kill you. And he left in, and he never bothered me again.
Well, I'm sure glad you're out of that situation.
He went to Arizona, and he died there. And I hate to say it about anything or anybody, and God forgive me. I was glad he died.
No,
I was.
There are people like that. Yeah. All right, Janice, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, Jim. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Is it inattention, you think, or I just choose to ignore it, that I can get a temporary restraining order or a restraining order or you can't be within 100 yards of me. It doesn't really amount to anything because there's nobody there to enforce it.
Yeah, and at that point in time, it's going to take us at least 3 to 5 minutes to get there, and that's a long time if you're engaged in something.
Yeah.
And so, the caller described, kind of this safety issue that victims feel when they, view things as being normal when we all know they're not, and they stay. And, I don't want people to get it wrong that we're blaming victims. I think what we're attempting to do, even with that initial point of contact, is inform victims of what outcomes could be and what they have been and what we've seen. And so, I'm trying to move our department to a point of prevention. How do we get inside of these apartments, these units, these homes to prevent these horrific crimes from continuing? And I think I've said a long time ago, I think crimes are preventable, and I think domestic violence is one that we can prevent if we can arm victims with information on how to end the cycles. Because it's just like you say, even with alcoholism and we talk about homelessness and conditions that people are in, they've got to make a move, and they've got to come forward and do something, because we're here to help. And the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. We're trying to lead people out of the lives that they're in, but they've got to make some decisions, and we've got to do a really good job with, putting a mirror in their face to say, here's your condition.
It's difficult for people to admit they have a character defect.
Sure.
And if you do, you look around and say, okay, I'll go to a doctor. He'll give me some pills, and I'll be okay next week. Yeah, it's not a cold.
Yeah, it's only failure if you let it continue. It's success if you realize I got an issue, but I can get help. That's success.
But look, the work that changing your behavior is hard.
Sure.
It is really difficult. There's so many temptations to go back to it, and you have to immerse yourself in a whole lot of the people that are in similar situations. And I've never really cared a lot for group psychobabble, but the experience, strength, and hope that you get from a group of people that are going through the same thing that you're going through is a very enlightening, and if you stay with it, it can be a very rewarding experience.
Absolutely.
Tim, good morning. Welcome to Lago in the Morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning, sir.
Got a question for you. I have an employee who's I know is in an abusive relationship.
Yes.
And I'm not sure as an employer what my options are as far as trying to help counsel her to get help. And, her boyfriend / husband will call the office repeatedly, taking away her work time and just harassing her.
Yeah, I think if you would leave your name and phone number with Sam,
sure,
I can have one of our victims advocate reach out to you.
Okay,
and they're experts in their field, and they can probably give you better advice than I can. But from my perspective, I think just candid conversation without sugarcoating is the best remedy. And I've used that a lot. And you kind of put a mirror in people's face and say, hey, here's the issues. And this is what police is hearing, and this is what they're experiencing, and we don't want this to happen to you.
I mean, she knows she knows she needs to get away. They don't live together, but he'll go by the house, talk to her mom, talk to the kids, hassle her at work, and so she's just trying to figure out what remedies are available to her. Yeah,
and if she's willing, and during that last segment, Jim and I talked about a willingness for people to change their condition. If she's willing, we can help her, and we need you guys to remain a support system for her. But by all means, if you would leave your information,
sure,
we'll have somebody reach out to you today, and we can start that process.
Okay, that'd be great. I appreciate it.
Tim, thank you for caring enough about your employee to do that. What the chief just said about your support. When all that stuff is going crazy in their lives, and somebody that looks like they've got a pretty good hold on reality and their lives are walking along in a pretty good fashion, that kind of support is so important to them that one day maybe she'll be able to articulate just what your support meant to her, because she may not be getting any kind of support anywhere else.
Yeah, and you think about Tim's position as an employer. Yeah. So there's some security, financial security with her job.
Well, not only that, but hell, he could come in and shoot up the place.
That's right. Absolutely. So leave your information with Sam so we can get that going.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
And God bless you. News Radio 1360, KKTX, Chief Floyd Simpson in the box. Let me get to these phone calls. Wally, good morning. Welcome to Lago.
Hey, good morning, Kim. Listen, I have a question for you. Are we living in the United States? Or do we live in Mexico? I was looking at my voter's registration. It's in English and in Spanish.
Well, read the English part, Wally.
I know.
Okay. Kevin, good morning. Welcome to Lago in the morning.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, I'm laughing at the last caller. That was too much.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Lago, how you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
If I get a bite on my line, I'm going to have to let the phone down, man. But I got a quick question for the chief. I've got a problem in my neighborhood.
Yes,
I don't mean to get off the subject that you're talking about. It's important, but I've got a group of individuals that are playing stereo so loud at 8 o'clock at night. It's knocking pictures off the wall, rattling windows. I mean, I work in the oil field. With me and my wife both get up at 5 in the morning. We go to bed at 8. I'm afraid to go talk to this guy because I'd have to post a security guard with the house alone all day. I mean, how do I get this stopped?
Have you called the police yet?
No, because I'm afraid that they'll come over and poison my dog, and I'd have to take matters into my own hands. My wife doesn't want me to talk to him, but
and you can call us on our non-emergency line or the 911 line and tell the call taker that you don't want to be contacted. I
was young once. I mean, I understand. All they got to do is turn the damn Suburban around and shoot the music the other way towards their house, but then it would offend their mom.
Yeah. No. Let us get engaged with that, and call us out there and tell the call taker that you don't want to be contacted.
Is there a law? I mean, it used to be when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
11 o'clock, you had to shut up, or 10 o'clock.
Yeah, there's nuisance laws and there's loud music laws, and
this is knocking pictures off the wall and rattling windows. It's been going on for months, and all the neighbors around me. I mean, we live in a decent neighborhood. We're just afraid to tell them anything.
Yeah, no. Let us handle it. Just give us a call and tell the call taker you don't want to be contacted. I
appreciate it, sir. Mr. Lago?
Yes, buddy.
Is there a sample ballot in today's caller times, or
you have to? I didn't get that far in there. There usually is, but if you can't get that, you can go to the county's website.
Yeah, print one off.
Yeah, and print one.
Okay, that way I can circle everything I want my wife to vote for this afternoon. All right, guys, I'm on the King Ranch shoreline. The redfish are biting. I appreciate your help, Chief Simpson. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
Save one for me.
Enjoy.
Lorenzo, good morning. Welcome to Lago in the morning.
Morning, Lago. Morning, Chief.
Good morning.
Listen, I just have a comment on that spousal abuse.
Yes, sir.
My mom was abused also, and like she called the cops and she did all that, but she still did whatever he wanted. My question is maybe how about posting their face on the news as somebody was abusive, and this way you have more people. Hey, well, you know what? Keeps people from
Do it like we do. Do it like we do. Arrested for DUI. Arrested for.
There you go. Because then they're out. I mean, and even if you never see him, you just keep an eye on him because he's already.
Yeah.
I
don't know if that can be done, but there's an idea. We can explore
either
that.
Because people accuse people of doing things that they haven't done, and there's the only problem. Boy, the stigma attached to that is bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, usually when you file a police report, it's not gonna, mean that, you're not gonna get up either.
Right. I don't know. We can pursue that. I don't know if it'll happen, but we can figure it out.
Okay, sir.
Thanks,
you.
Lorenzo.
I was going to tell you, Jim, the show went quick. November 8th, this Saturday, we've got a retiree picnic. You know, we've been doing those on an annual basis. This is year number 3. Pretty impressive with all of the retirees that come back from the police department. I'm sure you know a lot of the guys, but 2 p.m. West Goose Park.
All right.
You'll find a lot of old retired police officers hanging out.
I'll be there.
All right.
Have yourself a Bluebell Country Day.